Anything that needs to be shared? Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the council meeting, December 2nd. If anyone in the audience is amplifying headphones, please raise your hand. We'll bring those to you. Not seeing any. Let's rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Mary, can you do a roll call, please?
Councilmember Bush.
Here.
Councilmember Stearns. Here. Councilmember Gilmore.
Here.
Mayor Nisco.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Sherman.
Here.
Councilmember Sapp. Here. Councilmember Kukis.
Here.
Thank you, Mary. Does council have any late changes to the agenda? City manager?
No, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Council have any board reports to share? No, I just want to say how gorgeous downtown looks and thank our staff for all the hard work putting up the lights and getting everything ready, and even our businesses that are joining in with all the festivities. So it looks great down there. If you haven't, people online, everybody here is going to see it when they walk out the door, but everybody online that has not been downtown at dark, get down there. All right. Anything else? All right. Is there a motion to approve our consent agenda as published?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda as published.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as published. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. All right, the council invites the public to make comments on matters of city business. Comments shall be made to the entire council and not individual council members. Please refrain from any personal or disrespectful remarks that create this disruption of the meeting. If unreasonable disruptive conduct continues, you'll be asked to leave the meeting. Mary, anyone signed up for public comment?
Good evening. I'm here tonight because of a situation we're facing with public safety, city ordinances, and the growing impacts of the unmanaged street camping. Continues to be unacceptable. It's getting worse, not better. We now have a long-standing local nonprofit, Nifty Thrifty, that actually is offering a $100 reward just to get their own shopping carts back, when we have a city ordinance pertaining to shopping carts. To me, that's 100% unacceptable. It shouldn't be necessary in a city that already has a shopping cart ordinance on the books. When a nonprofit has to spend donor dollars this way, it tells us something is fundamentally broken in our own enforcement and accountability systems. The problems aren't limited to that. Brewer Park continues to show significant ADA violations of the sidewalks, ongoing garbage accumulation, and clear violations of the conditional use permit by Community Lifeline. Because the city is not enforcing its own standards, and we all see the consequences of this every single day. Back in November of 2021, there was an ordinance passed 19770927 addressing street and camping under chapter 8.74. And that was 4 years ago. That's roughly 1,460 days. There were some revisions on that. And we revised it again back in June. So even after that, we have 120 days from there. And we still only have 8 citations issued for street camping. I mean, there's multiple street campers out there. There's 365 days in a year, and there's 5 street campers. How many violations do we have? So let's see the percentage on that. So we have to ask, what are we doing? If we keep doing the same thing and we keep expecting different results, isn't that the very definition of insanity? So where do we go from here? Do we need to establish or empower a nonprofit to transport individuals to areas with more robust services? Do we need stronger enforcement and real accountability? Do we need mandatory treatment options, expanding skills, life skills training? When necessary, incarceration that could lead to a clear head, and then we could go into treatment or life skills training. Should we start tying funding for NGOs to measurable positive outcomes instead of just good intentions? There's a lot of good NGOs out there. There's a lot of good people that wanna help people. But there's a lot of people that just have intentions, and intentions are only intentions until they become an action. So I'm not gonna finish reading everything that I had, but you guys kind of get the point. We gotta figure out what we're doing in our community and how we can get together to help everybody. It's not compassion to allow somebody to sleep on the street. It's not. We have people on the sidewalks in the rain. It's not good. Let's do something about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all that we have signed up.
All right. We have a presentation for the Civic Center Event Power Box LTAC report. Your manager, Mark Super.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Council. In light of the activities going on in Northwest Event Promotions and the Hanson family who led this project last year, I'm gonna give a brief presentation to you tonight. This was an LTAC funded project to provide a 200 amp power service to the parking lot next door at 425 West Coda to serve the very functions and activities that we're seeing happen there currently in this weekend. So it started with the Christmas tree maze several years ago and using generator power from across the street of the Civic Center. It wasn't, it just wasn't the most logistically realistic possibility or scenarios. So the Hansons led this effort and requested LTAC funds late last year for this year to install that 200 amp power service. Keeley Electric did that early this year, I guess, and it's in place now. So that kind of sums up the project and makes them eligible for reimbursement for the LTAC funds.
Any comments or questions?
A really good idea to do that. If we can do things downtown, and also it's gonna help the farmers market in the summer. So instead of them bringing generators in and having that loud sound, we're gonna have really quiet power and electrical power instead of gas generated. So really great idea, and great that we're doing this. So thanks for that report.
All right. Our first business item tonight is related to the Shelton Employees Guild. Human Resource and Risk Manager Leander Sharp has details for us tonight.
Good evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Council. I bring to you this evening a labor agreement between the city and Shelton Employees Guild. The Shelton Employees Guild is one of the 3 labor groups that perform municipal services. This guild is comprised of our public works, parks, and facilities. The city and the guild bargaining in good faith into an agreement for a 3-year contract from 2026 to 2028. I'm requesting for approval to move this contract to the next meeting, December 16th, for further consideration. Questions?
All right. Mary, maybe we have a reading of resolution number 1417-1125.
A resolution, council of the city of Shelton, Washington, authorizing the city manager to execute employees guild labor.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move to place resolution number 1417-1125 on the action agenda on the next council meeting on December 16th, 2025 for further consideration.
Second.
Thank you. Comments or questions?
So I'm really glad that's a 3-year contract and we get to lock it down for that time and we don't have to renegotiate again. So thank Leander for your work, and I'm really happy that we got to at least do a 2.7% COLA for our employees. Thank you, Leander.
Anyone else? Thank you, Leandra, your staff, union, and the staff negotiating for sticking with us. And I see that it looks like it's a 2.7% raise the next 3 years, and our staff's worth way more than that, but I appreciate that, all the hard work.
Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, I too want to recognize the leadership team that sat across the table, as well as the guild themselves. This has been a great working relationship with the Shelton Employees Guild. They're very hardworking employees. The comparables out there are higher than what you're seeing today as well. They appreciate our financial consideration and the constraints that we're in and trying to build a sustainable budget moving forward and agreeing to a 3-year contract. I like this is really important. We did this last year with our police guild as well as the customer service guild at the same time. So we appreciate our working relationships with them. I think it's very strong and something we don't necessarily see in other municipalities. So I want to recognize them and our staff that worked so hard on getting this to this point in fruition, and we won't have to bring another contract to back to the council for another couple of years.
Thank you. All right. We have a motion and a second to forward resolution number 1417-1125 to the December 16th, 2025 action agenda. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, up next, Parks and Rec Supervisor Jordan Crumples had information about Park Advisory Committee appointments.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tonight I bring 3 appointments. One is a reappointment for the Parks Advisory Board. This committee meets monthly throughout the year, and they help bring recommendations to you guys for future parks and rec resources, making recommendations on park rules and regulations, being a liaison to the community, and assisting with comp planning. Like next year, we're getting ready to dive into the Cross Trails project, and we're doing our post plan next year. So it'll be a big part on that. So having Phil team for that is an excellent thing. Our first one is Ted Killingen. He is reappointing for a 3-year term. He came on beginning of this year. So now he's taking on another full term with us. He is a city resident, so it's good to have city residents in the group. And then the other 2 are new members. Bill Scholl is a county resident. He's also a Lions Club member here in town. And then Erica Adams, also a county resident, but also has a business in the city, which is great. So having 2 new members would be good to have. So, and answer any questions.
All right, thank you, Jordan. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move to forward the appointments for the Parks Advisory Committee to the December 16th, 2025 council meeting for further consideration.
Okay.
All right, comments or questions?
How long is the term?
3 years, sorry.
So we still have the old crew, Kathleen and
Yes, we have Kathy and Diane Soren who will renew their term is up in 2027.
So it's 5 total then?
5 total, yes. Yep.
All right. All right, we have a motion and a second to place the Parks Advisory Committee appointments on December 16th, 2025 action agenda. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. We're recently out of our regular meeting to open a public hearing. Interim Finance Director Terry Schnitzer will share information for us about 2025 budget supplemental.
Thank you, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and council members. Tonight I bring you the 2025 supplemental budget to the original ordinance that was passed back in November of 24, which was ordinance 2023-0924. This is to appropriate and reappropriate some funding to account for some expenditures that are in addition to, so that we make sure that the funds are within the budget. And so I'm going to focus on schedule or exhibit A, and which. So for the general fund, we're asking council to approve an additional 20,000 for additional expenses for the architectural electrical work locates for the Civic Center, and $5,042 for additional budget authority for the library HVAC expenses. So the library did go over a little bit over, and so we're just asking to true that back up. For the capital resource REIT 1 fund, we're asking additional to transfer the 20,000 from REIT 1 to the general fund for that Civic Center architectural electrical work locates, and then transferring 35,000 additional budget for the Civic Center universal power supply. to the capital improvement fund. And then the REIT one will pay the 5,042 additional budget for the HVAC, the library HVAC expenses. And then for the capital improvement fund, the 35,000 that was talked about for the Civic Center Universal Supply. And then we are deobligating 89,000 for the maintenance division yard that we had set aside. And so we're putting that back to the general fund. And then for the sewer, we're asking $100,000 additional budget, basically due to a storm weather damage that caused pumps to go down, and any associated costs with that. And then 90,196 for the Front Street pipe removal project. We're moving that to operations. It's not a capital project, so we're just reappropriating that money to the sewer operation fund. And then for the solid waste fund, we're showing that we're just a little bit over what we budgeted originally. So we're just asking for $5,000 just to cover any other expenses for the closeout of the C Street. The sewer capital fund, this is again transferring the 90,196 to operations. And then again, we're deobligating from the sewer capital fund the 75,000 for the yearly pavement preservation and 133,500 for the maintenance division yard. So we're just not doing those projects or not setting aside those funds for 25. For storm capital fund, we're just putting back 200,000 that we set aside for the yearly pavement preservation project and 22,500 for the maintenance division yard. And we're putting that back to storm operation fund. And for the water capital fund, we're putting back 38,500 that we set aside for the maintenance division yard. So, and these are just to, even though we're transferring from one fund to another, is to account for those expenditures. Those transfers are considered expenditures. So we need to make sure that we account for that in our budget, even though it's kind of making it, but it's really not.
Thank you, Terry. Does anyone sign up for public comment?
There we go.
All right, we have a reading of ordinance number 2037-1025.
An ordinance of the city of Shelton, Washington, amending the annual budget for the year ending December 31st, 2020.
We have a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we forward ordinance number 2037-1025 to the December 16th city council meeting for further consideration.
All right, comments or questions? Thank you, Terry, for always for your hard work. I know this is kind of like just finishing out the year and making everything right for the auditors. So when they come next year, they say we did a perfect job like always. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. We have a motion and a second to forward ordinance number 2037-1025 to the December 16th council meeting for further consideration. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Public hearing is closed. Resume to our regular meeting. Our first action item tonight is Assistant Public Works Director Brent Armstrong will be presenting information about reclaimed water tank project.
Evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Council. I am looking forward to a reclaimed water tank project award. This was first reached back in November 4th by Aaron Nix. Now we have the open the bids. We received 4 bids ranging from 2.264 billion to 2.803 billion. We've gone through procurement process, and this is to build the 500,000 gallon tank. Right now, we only have about 35,000 gallons of storage out there. And this project is part of a series of projects that we're doing to be able to upgrade the NBR treatment plant. We have the headworks going in design right now as one of those projects also, but the qualifying bid, it was by Rocklands, and it was $2,663,076.82, which was, $82,667.88 under the engineer's estimation. We do, need to bridge the gap of our funding for about $295,671. But we have gone through and found projects, some of them which were reallocated in the supplemental. And we also are working with getting some matching funds for another grant wave. So we're looking to hear back from that. That's how we're gonna fund the gap for this project. Reclaimed water mainly used for irrigation, industrial process, and then groundwater recharging, which is also another phase of this project that we have down the road. We're looking into converting our Springfield into groundwater recharge. Help higher or the low flows in Goldsboro Creek. So
Is that injection wells?
yeah, it could be injection wells, but it could be just changing the way that our sprinkler system goes right now. It's there's a lot to evaporation. That's I have unless you have some further questions.
Thank you, sir. Anyone set for public comment?
No, we don't.
May we read the resolution number 1415-1025?
Resolution 415-1025, a resolution of the city of Shelton, Washington, awarding the Reclaimed Water Tank project to Roglins Inc. and authorizing the city manager to execute contract documents for contract number 25-005-LP.
Thank you, Mary. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, move to adopt resolution number 1415-1025 as presented.
All right, comments or questions?
I think it's a good time that we wrap this up and that we have to use all this money now because some of that money will expire. So I think it's a good time that we wrap it up and get this going, and I'm always in favor of water projects. So keep it clean and keep it quantified. So thanks a lot for your work on this and putting this together.
Thank you, Brent. We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 1415-1025 as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, we have another one from Brent.
Yes, so the next project is a public utility and access easement for PUD 3, brought this on 11/18. Nothing has really changed. This is up by the Lowell 1 site. It is installed and are looking to progress in 26 to install this and then repower through Olympic Heights and tie for substation down to the PUD on Jonesboro.
Anyone have public comment, Mary? May I have a reading of resolution number 1406-1025?
Resolution number 1406-1025, a resolution of the city council of the city of Shelton, Washington, grant a public utility and access easement across property on Travis.
Thank you, Mary. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, move to adopt resolution number 1406-1025 as presented.
Second.
All right, comments or questions? All right, we have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 1406-1025 as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next we have engineering technician Kenny Oberg and stormwater technician Patrick Hoffman here with information about a work order.
Unfortunately, couldn't make it tonight. We last spoke about this on 11/18. This is our surface water comprehensive plan or stormwater comprehensive plan. It covers citywide as a whole, and we could reach out into UGA and possibly future UGA. Get this squared away and set up for future growth and development, also maintaining compliance with the ever changing stormwater regulations come out from federal government and state. So address O&M practices, capital project identification and financial planning to accomplish those. Take a look at the one-time connection fee or general facility charge. Stormwater. That's a financial review. That also helped us out with maintaining compliance for our round of our NGS permit. That's a large portion of that permit. It's called the Stormwater Action Plan. with this compact. So actually identify a catchment area that in most cases lacking treatment, in most cases that it's a direct discharge to, let's say, Creek like Hillsborough, which is Salmon Creek. And part of that is getting that funding together and making a plan, getting a preliminary design, so we can actually set up it. That's just one aspect of about 8 different chapters of this stormwater health. A big portion of this, the one on this immensely is about 5 miles worth of stormwater collection, getting surveyed, identified, hammered, so we can, you know, get the big hitter islands that are in need of replacement. So 60, 70 years old. So it would help a lot to know that we can sort of feed it with funds that we do that, but choose to go. But that's changed since we lost the little.
Thank you, Kenny. Does anyone have public comment?
No, we don't.
And may I have a reading of resolution number 1414-1025.
Resolution 14-1025. A resolution of the council of the city of Shelton, Washington, authorizing the city manager to execute an on-call A&E consultant pool work order with Gray and Osborne Inc. for revisions and updates to the city's 6-year surface and stormwater comprehensive.
Thank you, Mary. Do we have a motion?
I move to adopt resolution 1414-1025 as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to second to approve resolution 1414-1025 as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. All right, our next item is 2026 master fee. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we have any questions for Kenny? Sorry, I think I skipped that. Good. I think the second got me. Our next item is 2026 master fee schedule. Interim Finance Director Terry Snitcher has more information for us.
Thank you, Mayor, Deputy Mayor and Council. For the 2026 master fee schedule, these are fees that to charge throughout the city for 2026. There has not been any changes made to the fee schedule since last presented to you, but I believe Mark wants to clarify.
Yes, thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. Council, I've had the opportunity to talk with a few of you to clarify some changes that you'll see in Exhibit C that's on the screen now. We've recently come to realize that some of the fire fees, as we talked about on November 18th, we had extensive amount of fire fees included in the fee schedule as edits. And as we dug into this a little more, we wondered why, because we thought these were in the fee schedule already, and they're certainly in our permitting portal, right? So if one goes into the permitting portal and applies for a fire suppression system, those fees are accurately calculated and appropriated to the individual applying for their permit, but we weren't seeing those within the fee schedule. Did a little bit of research and saw that an addendum to the fee schedule was originally adopted back in 2022 when we went live with our permitting portal. For some reason, that addendum was not attached to the fee schedule recently. So Leslie, Fire Marshal Keith Reeds was adding those fees to the fee schedule. And as we started editing that, we realized that that's where kind of disconnect was. So the fees they're not necessarily new fees, if you will. They're fees that were not in the fee schedule when we were implementing that or editing that for your review on the 18th. So as you'll see in the copy, the ones that are highlighted in yellow are the fees that were adopted previously, are within our permitting portal. But we added those on the 18th because they're in red, so any changes were in red. But I highlighted the ones that are in the permitting portal, but they are established fees right now. So it's just kind of, I guess, reconciling that back into the fee schedule. You'll see a number of, I forget how many, there's about close to 2.5 pages of fire fees that were omitted previously that we've added. You'll see those in red and highlighted in yellow. Like I said, I've had the opportunity to discuss this with a few of the council members, but not all of you, because this is a recent development with the holiday last weekend being a short work week. So we're certainly happy to bring this back to the council at the next meeting on the 16th of December, if you want some time for further consideration. Or we can move forward as the council sees fit tonight.
Is there any public comment?
We don't have anyone.
Do we want to go with the reading or we want to table this?
I'm fine with moving ahead with it.
All right. All right. We have a reading of resolution number 1408-1025.
Resolution 08-1025, a resolution of the city of Shelton, Washington, updating, establishing the city's master fee schedule for fiscal year 2026.
Thank you, Mary. Do we have a motion?
Resolution number 1408-1025 as presented.
Second.
All right, comments or questions? Basically, we're charging these fees. They're just in one spot, not in the other.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess to
so-
simplify it,
so-
thank you. I probably should have said that, yes.
All right. All right. Any other comments or questions? All right, we have motion and second to adopt resolution number 1408-1025 as written. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next, city manager Mark Ziegler has information for us about the city's 2026 legislative agenda.
One moment, miss anything? So the city council annually adopts a legislative agenda to work with our 35th delegation. Typically for major infrastructure improvements, but also policy that the state may be considering at the same time. When we met with our delegation back in August of earlier this year, we went through the entire legislative agenda and the breadth of infrastructure improvements and policies that we thought were priorities. We boiled those down to probably the top priorities with council's guidance, which is the Mountain View pressure zone and the new reservoir that's needed there. We are lucky enough to receive $500,000 from the state legislature last year. It's going to take another $500,000 to get the design work completed. So that's going to be our top priority when we move forward to. So I guess I should go back. The next step in this process after the council approves the legislative agenda is for us to fill out the capital request and get that to our delegation so they can work through their systems there once the session starts after the first year. Second priority is new well 5. So we need to be planning for water production here in the future and meeting long-term needs. Storage will be more of an immediate need, but certainly production is going to be right on its heels if it's not here already, and planning forward on that. We've got some improvements with well 1 with replacing the 1989 pump next year. But with that, there's going to be a need for additional production. The Shelton Springs Road sewer trunk line extension. We have almost $1 million in federal funds to extend that sewer main from Tarragon Avenue just past Shelton High School to Highway 101. That money is being made real now. We'll be going out to an RFP for consultants to do design work, but it doesn't pay for the entire project. So looking for additional funds to help make that real, adding to the potential to bring on new housing developments in that area, but also bringing up some of the housing developments there that are really on substandard, not only water systems, but sewer systems at the same time. I think that probably the next, and they're in combination with, I guess, these two projects, the Wallace Neyland Olympic Highway North intersection and Wallace Neyland Shelton Springs intersection. We've received funding in the past for the Shelton Springs Wallace intersection roundabout after some of the project this year done in-house by our staff to re-signal that it functions much better. And really looking back at the Olympic Highway North intersection and the needs there, how it's the entrance to the north side of town, that business district, and the failures that it sees. And then frankly, working with WashDOT because they actually own the west side of that intersection and potentially engaging them, looking at how maybe WashDOT reinvests into that intersection. We asked for the monies to be reallocated from the Spring Road intersection to that. Maybe we can combine for a project that benefits our existing community, but also might be an economic catalyst for some further development across 101 because any development there would have to see some traffic mitigation work done on that intersection right now, because it just frankly, it would blow it up even more than it is during peak hours. So that would be needed at that time. So we could see potentially some benefit to the Hall Equities Group, maybe working on something over on that side of the road. So it's a short session, 60 days. Our delegation didn't have a whole lot of good things to say, I guess, about available funding, but they've done a good job for us over the years, and I know they'll continue working for us. So it's our intent to, at the passage of this legislative agenda, to get these capital requests out, work with our lobbyist, Troy Nichols over there, and continue throughout the session, providing our delegation the information that's most important to Shelton and our community, so they can go to bat for us over there in Olympia.
Right. Anyone else have a public comment? May have a reading of resolution 1410-1025.
0-1025, a resolution of the city of Shelton, Washington, establishing the 2026 legislative.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 1408-1025 as presented.
1410, isn't it?
Yes.
1410-1025. Can you
Sure. 1410-1025 as presented.
Second.
All right, comments or questions? All right, I don't know if everybody knows, I'm on the Mason County Substance Abuse Coalition Committee Board. It's not a sanction for the city to be on that board, but I've been on it for multiple years. And their main function is keeping kids off of tobacco, vapes, and other substances. They've been a part of making the laws for, you know, being 25 foot from a door when you smoke and most things, but mainly what I'm concerned is the vapes and the kratom and the mushroom powders and the nitrous oxide that's being sold in gas stations to minors. At any age, you could walk in and buy this stuff, and it gets kids high. It's addicting. I believe it's a gateway drug, and or 35th does know that's one of my big priorities. I would like to maybe just let them know as a group that we are concerned about this and just keep this on their mind. And I can't make motions, but I would entertain a motion to just add some language that, hey, we'd like you to keep looking at this. So. Nobody cares about kids here? I mean, this is simple. It's cost nothing for us. It costs nothing for the legislators, just to keep it on their minds that this is, you know, this is stuff that you can buy in gas stations. Stuff is terrible stuff. And I'd like them just to be on their mind that to keep looking at it over the years. We were on a AWC meeting today, and I asked the question. They said it's back and forth. It's just not consistent to where it's on everybody's mind. So this would be something that we could just add on our agenda, saying, hey, this is important to us. Our kids are important to us. Let's help them out.
So I move to amend and add that we look at gas station, what they're selling, and maybe have them look at what are the impacts and more studies for that.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. So we do the amendment first, Mary? I think you do the amendment first. Okay, so there's a motion and a second to amend 1410-1025, just to add a discussion with our 35th about gas station heroin is what they call it.
And unregulated substances, is that what we're looking for?
Yes, unregulated substances, correct.
So we're looking to age restrict?
I want them just to be on their mind to let Olympia know that it's important. So,
But no policy, just a reminder that we think this is important.
well, I would like to lead a policy one day. Yeah, absolutely.
But for this amendment, just that we keep it on mind.
Yes, on their mind, yes.
Okay, I'm good with that.
All right, we have a motion and a second on amended 1410-1025 as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed? All right, now we have the main motion. We have a motion and a
It's
second.
mute at this point.
I'm sorry?
Let's mute at this point.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay. We have another item from Mark.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Council. as you heard on November 18th, Judge Greer's contract expires at the end of this year, and according to RCW 35A 13080, I have the pleasure and responsibility for appointing municipal court judge with the council's approval and confirmation from the council. And so I think it's again with pleasure that I bring that confirmation to the council tonight to reappoint Judge Stephen Greer to another 4-year term in Shelton Municipal Court.
Thank you. Does anyone have a public comment, Mary?
Don't have
All right, maybe we're reading the resolution number 1411-1025.
Resolution number 1411-1025, a resolution of the council of the city of Shelton, Washington, confirming appointment of Stephen Greer as municipal court judge.
Thank you, Mary. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I proudly move to approve resolution number 1411-1025 as presented.
All right, comments or questions? All right. We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 1411-1025 as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you, sir. Did you want to say anything, Your Honor? Oh. You can talk if you like for a minute. Huh? All right. All right. Another item from Mark on indigent defense.
Thank you, Mayor. So the city of Shelton is required to provide indigent defense services for those that can't afford it through municipal court. We have a contract with Sound Defenders PLLC for about the last, I think, not the last 8 years, since 2008. They have agreed to continue to provide indigent defense services for us on another 2-year contract. The increase in services would be about just over $21,000 to the city in 2026, which is, I guess, reasonable with the nature of indigent defense these days in Washington State. And we'll only be seeing increases moving forward as the caseload counts being required by state Supreme Court become more stringent.
Another hot item for AWC today.
It's one of the legislative agendas through AWC, and we'll certainly be following that through this session. Absolutely.
All right. Anyone sign up for public comment?
We go.
Maybe reading resolution number 1412-1025.
Resolution number 1412-1025, a resolution of the city of Shelton, Washington, approving a 2-year contract with Sound Defenders PLLC for Shelton Municipal Court Indigent Defense.
Thank you, Mary. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, move to approve resolution number 1412-1025 as presented.
Second. All right. Comments or questions?
Just that this is a good deal for the city and that we got to lock it down for more than 1 year. So, and that we're defending our constitutional rights of everyone here. So I'm happy to move this forward and to approve it.
All right. Anybody else? All right. We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 1412-1025 as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carries. Mark, more information for us.
Yes, let me wrap this up.
Yeah.
This is if you will, council, this is an item that you did not see on the 11th of 18th because of some impending deadlines. So this is a contract amendment with SCJ Alliance for our comprehensive plan update. As you know, we've been working on our comprehensive plan since 2023. We're nearing the finish line, but we've been through some staffing changes. SCJ's been through some staffing changes and some other difficulties in getting us to the finish line. The original contract with SCJ Alliance actually expired on June 30th of this year. So we are out of compliance with that existing contract. I'd like to bring that into compliance and adds a little bit of time onto that to the end of March. So we have the ability to complete this comprehensive plan in time to get it to Commerce, get it council for approval, which we won't have time to do this year. This does not add any costs onto the contract. It's just extending the date from the June 30th, 2025 date to the March 30th of 2026 in order for us to have enough time to get it completed. Again, get Commerce review and get their approval forward at that point.
Right. Anyone set public comment?
No, we do.
May I have a reading of resolution number 1418-1125?
Resolution number 1418-1125. A resolution of the council of the city of Shelton, Washington, authorizing a contract amendment for comprehensive cleaning services.
Thank you, Mary. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve resolution number 1418-1125 as presented.
Right. Comments or questions?
Yeah, it was my pleasure to serve on the comprehensive plan committee this year and the past 18 months with the mayor. And that our process in the city was very inclusive about including young people and other people in the community, not just the same old usual suspects. And it was a really great process to compare and juxtapose our process here in the city versus the process of the county, which was a little bit dicey. Anyway, I just wanted to let everyone know that it was really a pleasure to work with the SCJ Alliance and having them allow us all the input back and forth, and including young members of our community and a diverse comprehensive plan committee. So it was my pleasure to work with them, and I hope that we are in compliance and that we set up the future with our comprehensive plan for really good visioning and long-term planning. And I think we accomplished that here in the city.
Right, we have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 1418-1125 as presented. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Ooh, Mark, you have a city manager report for us.
Couple things, please, if you will. Mayor mentioned decorations downtown. That means it's Holiday Magic Weekend, so we'll have the tree lighting ceremony and fire pits in the middle of Railroad, which is always a great time and very interesting, unique. And then the parade on Saturday. So looking forward to that. Hanson family and volunteers are setting up the Grisdale Christmas Village, I think, next door. So not the traditional tree maze. So that's going to be going on all weekend long. We're looking forward to a lot of people coming downtown, enjoying themselves. Right after that, we're anticipating quite a rainfall event and some high tide. So looking forward to. I think the leaves are mostly done off the trees. There's quite a few in the right of ways, but getting those cleaned up, asking for assistance from our public to make sure storm drains are cleared out and open and don't blow everything out of their yard into the streets. Because that just adds to some of the urban flooding that we see when those materials are blown into the streets and clog up storm drains. So our crews are planning for that. Public Works Director Jay Harris is on top of it and watching this weather event coming, and we're getting everybody ready to go. So we're able to react as much as possible. We always have, when these storm events come, we always have sandbags available that are available and picked up down by the city shop there. And the crews fill those up and have them available if anybody needs those at that time. And then certainly through dispatch, and we have crews available 24/7 to respond to any emergencies. So we're prepared for this event.
Any comments or questions from Mark?
What time is the tree lighting on Friday?
I think
5,
6. I
6?
think it's 6.
I just know I'm showing up by 3. So sorry.
Right. Well, for the audience at home, we want everyone down.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, come on down by by 6, there'll be the kids caroling just before, and then Santa arrives, right? He's gonna make his visit down to that area as well.
All right. See us Friday night.
Right. Any new items for discussion?
The following weekend, the downtown's hosting the cookie stroll, so it'll be fun down here then too.
It's gonna be fun all of December downtown.
It always is.
All downtown.
Such a fun town in December.
Shop local. All right, new items. I wanted to touch just for a second on the kratom and stuff. I didn't maybe explain it very well. Kratom is an opiate-like substance that's legal in the United States at this moment. Some states have outlawed it and some states have not outlawed it. It's opiate-like substance that gets you high like opiates. It can be addicting, and we've had overdoses in Mason County, according to our coroner, for this. And anybody at any age can just go into Mickey's Deli, I shouldn't have said that, any gas station and buy this product. There's also the mushroom powder. If you read the back of it, if you take 1 package, your face will do this, and take 2, it'll do this. And, it's just really nasty stuff. The nitric oxide is huffing, they're selling $99 nitrous oxides in gas stations. What the heck do the gas stations need to be selling nitrous oxide? And you know, a size this big. I actually have a picture of one I saw on my walk last week. But there's about another 20 substances. We've all seen the presentation, and my goal is to have our legislators just keep letting Olympia know that this is stuff needs to be at least age restricted of anything. There's some argument on kratom out there that it helps people get off of opiates, but there's also discussion that it's actually moves people to opiates. So I just think adults are adults, but let's not sell it to our 12-year-olds in gas stations. And I'm just don't think I explained it very well. And
So I've gone around to a bunch of different gas stations and inquired about it myself, including the stores around here that sell it. And every one of them just told me that they only sell it to 21 and over. That's why I'm not real supportive of it. I
well,
think adults are allowed to do whatever they want. If kids are gonna go buy it, that's a problem. And but I think our health department and everybody else has gone to all these businesses. I know a couple of the people that own the smoke shops around here. The health department's gone and said, hey, look, we don't want you selling this to kids. And they said, absolutely, we don't sell it to kids. And a lot of the people that work in the stores feel the same way because they have kids too. That's why I think when we start harassing these business owners more and more, then we're gonna chase them out. That's why I just don't wanna see hurting small businesses, harassing people for stuff that's already being done. And you know, I mean, hey, they're still giving away crack pipes and needles downtown too. I'd like to see that get removed before we start harassing the legislators about stuff that's getting sold to adults in a gas station.
well, the county board that I'm on is actually part of the reason why they're not selling under 21. They've got voluntary compliance right now. That's well, it's voluntary compliance. So, I mean,
Doing it.
I'm not saying that we get rid of it. I'm just saying that we make sure that kids aren't buying it legally. I mean, if it's not illegal, somebody's gonna sell it to a kid. I just, you know, we're here to protect people and our kids, you know,
We should have another study session about it, not just from one person. And I think there are therapeutic values for some of these substances. So I think we should have a larger conversation and not just rely on one source.
Well, there may be some therapeutic value, but not for a 12-year-old. That's my biggest point.
Good for kids, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you're gonna, go attacking other small businesses that are here in the community that obviously people want. If they didn't, they wouldn't sell it. And we know this is a fact here.
So we always talk about our drug problem, but we're gonna sell stuff that leads to drugs, but that's okay. I just wanted Olympia to know that it's really important. The government's looking heavily at,
We got the same emails from people that have said it was help them.
Yeah.
Did you read those too? We got a lot of those, man.
we
It's
talk,
bad.
third time, talking about minors. The government's heavily looking at kratom, some of the ingredients in kratom right now. So that may be mute with kratom, but there's still more substances, but I just wanted to clarify that. I just want to make sure our kids aren't buying this to gas stations, so.
Thank you for your clarification.
All right, if there's no other items to discuss, we have a study session on the 9th, animal shelter control operations. And we have a special meeting for city volunteer recognition in the courtroom on the 16th, and we have a regular meeting on the 16th, and we're going to be talking about, we'll have an October financial status report. And no business items at this time, no public hearing, and an action item would be the employee guild contract from today. And so this study session is adjourned at, our meeting is adjourned at 6:52.